Hello and welcome to In Conversation with Kirti. Today we have a multi-talented dancer and model, Kudrat Gill, with us. She is a trained dancer. She performs Bhangra, which is a traditional male dance form with a lot of gusto and energy. She's performed in various festivals and shows. So let's talk to her and find out more about her and her work. Hi Kudrat, welcome to our show. So tell us a bit about yourself and what got you interested in modeling and dancing?
Hi Kirti, thanks for having me here. About me, well, I'm an Indian-born Australian. I've spent 40% of my life in Delhi, and I did my high school and university and everything in Melbourne. I'm currently working in the public service sector, and we basically regulate social and community housing, so keeping people off the streets, working towards reducing homelessness on the streets of Melbourne. As for dancing, well, dance is my first love. As far back as I can remember, I've just always been dancing. I've always been on a stage. And for me, it's the ultimate passion, you know. For me, it's a way to express all different things. It's a discipline, it's an outlet, it's something I turn to no matter what's going on in my life, and happy times and sad times. Even when I'm bored, dancing is always there for me, so absolutely love it. For modeling, I couldn't say it was a dream of mine. It was actually a dream of my mother's. So she wanted to be a model, but for whatever reason that didn't work out for her. So she's always encouraged me. I guess she's seen a model in me, and so have other people. So in the last few years, I started taking interest in modeling, and I thought, why not? Let's give it a shot and see. And yeah, it grew onto me. I really liked it, and here I am.
So what would you rather be, a dancer or a model?
I like both. Both of them give me a different sort of a vibe, and I enjoy doing both things. There's obviously commonalities, you know. Being a dancer or a model, I'm on a stage, I have to perform. You have the costumes, the lighting, camera, there's rehearsals, there's choreography, so there's a lot of similarities, so I definitely enjoy doing both the things. But yes, to be absolutely honest, I think deep inside, dance is my first love, as I said, so that'll always be a little notch higher.
Yeah. So what got you interested in Bhangra? It's a traditional male dance form, and Gidda is something that is associated with women. So how come you perform Bhangra?
You're right, Bhangra is basically a male's thing. I guess growing up in my family, there's, never been anything about, there hasn't been, you're a girl, you shouldn't do this, or this is not for you, this is what you should be doing. It's just, we've always had an equal opportunity at home, and I've always had the support of my parents. So when I decided to do Bhangra, they never questioned me, they just supported it. And how I got onto Bhangra, well, I've grown up doing different folk dances. I've done a lot of Bollywood. In Melbourne, I've basically done Bollywood and nothing else. And then I started watching Bhangra on YouTube, in fact, on this really popular channel, Gabru TV. And I think internationally a lot of people follow that channel, and that's where they start learning Bhangra, and that's where I started learning it. And then I got approached by a local team, by friends, to join them to start a new team, and I did. Absolutely loved it. And 3 years on, still growing, still learning, still enjoying it.
Great. So do you think there are enough avenues for folk dance forms, performances here in Australia? Do you think young generation likes it?
I think it's comparatively new. Folk dances, I think I've seen them come around in the past 5 or so years. And yes, it's been growing quite fast, and we constantly have shows, like every weekend there's an Indian community show, and people go and the youth watch it, and I think they do learn to enjoy it, and they do want to get involved. In fact, my own cousins, they're Australian born, and my cousin, she's 13, she never used to have an interest in anything to do with the Indian culture, and now she's learning Bhangra with me.
Oh, that's
so
great.
That change is happening.
Yeah. So what do you think can be done in order to promote it out here in Australia?
I think You mentioned avenues before. I think there's plenty of avenues here. there's a lot of shows happening, and community does pull, you know, the groups together to perform, to display the culture, to get involved. But in my personal experience, it's the support that lacks. So say, for example, with Bhangra, we've got teams here, and, you know, a lot of time goes into, a lot of effort, a lot of money for what, a 5-minute, a 7-minute performance on stage. Yes, the crowd loves it, everybody vibes, but 90% of the time, these groups are expected to perform voluntarily. And I think it would be nice to give them something back, you know. It could be, here's a studio, you can practice here, or we can help you out with costumes, or we can give you some sort of money to help you through with it. I think that sort of support is lacking, and that's what the community needs to start focusing on now.
Right.
To keep that culture growing, to keep people involved, you know, really back up the groups, help them grow.
So let's talk about your modeling experience. How was it how was it participating in Miss India Global recently held in Melbourne?
Well, it was my first pageant.
Yep.
So it was quite exciting. Initially, it was quite nerve-wracking. Overall, it was a really good experience, a positive experience. I remember going into the first session with the girls, and I was a bit apprehensive. I wasn't sure what to expect, what was going to happen, but pretty soon I got comfortable, made friends, and, you know, there was a lot of exciting things happening, and I started looking forward to the next session, to the next rehearsal, next shoot. It all got quite exciting. Made new friends. I got to learn new things about myself, you know, discovered strengths of mine, worked on my confidence, on public speaking, things I hadn't done before. So yes, it's been a positive experience, and I think on the night itself, the final night, I'm very proud of my performance. I was quite happy at the end of the day, yeah.
Do you think it provides a platform to aspiring models and actors, pageants like this?
I think it does, absolutely does. I mean, there's a lot of pageants out there these days, and, you know, you've just really got to be careful when picking one. Is it a real platform? Is it a genuine show, a genuine pageant, or is it just another money-making scheme? And obviously, I picked MIG because it was genuine. And yes, you know, it's a great platform to get yourself out there, to, you know, make people in the industry know you're interested, you're out here, this is who you are. Just put yourself out there, and to just get to know the other people in the industry, to, you know, build contacts, network, and you never know where it takes you. I mean, if you really want to follow a dream, you really want to follow that career, you put in the hard work, you chase after the right people, you'll get there. So it's absolutely a good platform.
Tell us about your work in creating social awareness about social issues out here.
Yep, so my pet topic is animal rights.
Yep.
So I come from a Sikh family, so I've grown up eating a lot of meat. And it wasn't until, say, a couple of years ago, I came across a few videos about animals and what happens, how does the meat get to my plate? And I think that really got me thinking, and then I started, you know, researching more, learning more, and I thought, well, I've grown up never ever thinking about, well, how does this happen, you know? How does a leather come in my jacket? How is my shoe made? You know, how does milk get in a bottle and into our fridge? And I started thinking about those things, and I realized that just in general, it's a social norm not to think of those things, and I think people really do need to think of those things because they are a real part of a life. So I decided that people should be aware. So I started using basically, you know, Facebook and other social platforms to just talk about it and just put the real picture out there. So I was sharing, I've been sharing posts from, you know, animal rights groups, PETA and all of those. I've been sharing videos and just posts, and it's really constant. And I think I've got the attention of a lot of people. And how I know that is because I've had people now come up to me and say, oh, hey, you know about that thing, what do you think about that? So it's good for me to know that I've got people thinking, you know, they're going to make better choices, they're going to be more conscious about what they're doing.
You've got to make a start somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So whatever little contribution I can make, you know, sign a petition, sponsor a sea turtle, I've done that, every little thing I can do. But yeah, but really get people thinking, create that social awareness. I'm not telling anyone, you know, you should be a vegan or you should be a vegetarian. But I just want to put that source out there for them to look at and make their own decisions.
Thank you so much, Kudrat, for your time, for coming to our show, and we wish you all the very best for all your future endeavors. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me here.